I think of ourselves as animals, and I don't know if most people who are writing are thinking of themselves as a primate. My name is Sylvia Torti, and I have a Ph.D. in biology, more specifically ecology, and I'm also a creative writer. As I was finishing my Ph.D., I had realized that I probably wasn't going to create a career as a research scientist. I loved ecology, I loved the practice of ecology, but I was searching for other ways to explore and process the world. I loved the world that you could fall into when you opened up a book, that you could be in another place, another time, and I think that that love of the art of the novel, has always been with me. Creativity, I think it's the interplay between curiosity, observation, thinking, and then making. There are lots of parallels between being a scientist and being an artist. You don't always know whether you're going to find the answers to your questions. And there's a lot of anxiety that can come from that, but there's a lot of fun to it too, because you're on the edge of not knowing. There's of course creativity in science. You have to be creative in thinking about your experiments, in the asking of questions. You have to design your experiments, and then you have to be creative in how you communicate your work. I would say the most successful scientists are extremely good communicators of story. I think I'm inspired by the natural world. Science and ecology show up in all of my stories, either as character or setting or metaphor. I'm always aware that we are this super interesting species of primate, and we're living in this world largely of our own making, and the ways that we interact with that world are just fascinating to me. I want us to go beyond the veneer of assumptions that we have about scientists and then use characters who are scientists to ask fundamental questions about ourselves as well as the human condition. I don't write my novels in a linear way. They're not plot-driven. They're really explorations of character and voice and situation. And then it takes me a very long time to put those pieces together. So I think of my work more as kind of collage making, much like the work of an ecologist. If you are studying an ecosystem and you study it for 1 year versus 5 years versus 10 years, you're putting more pieces of how it all fits together. And I think as I've grown in my writing, I see potential more quickly than I used to see potential. There's of course creativity in art and humanities, but I think that there's also the potential for creativity to manifest in love, in rearing children, in aging. Fundamentally, I think we are all creative as humans because we're curious animals. We observe, we can practice our skills of observation, we all think. And then the making part. The making can be a product, an actual artifact, like a book that I wrote, or the making could be something that's ephemeral, like the moments that you have raising a child. There's a lot of play in it.